Hello, we are Team Comedy Coop, and this is our game over here. So to start off, I would like to explain to you our game since I couldn't show you guys much here since I came a little bit late. But for our game over here, what we have is we have Cluck Jones here, a chicken who really wants to get his start on comedy. And he's performing in front of a crowd. So what happens is he has a bunch of jokes on the top of his head, and the crowd has a certain amount of jokes that they want to have told to them so they can start laughing. So you're gonna, but after a certain amount of time, the crowd's gonna get a little bit worked up, and they're gonna turn into the hecklers with the wolves on the top left over there, and they'll start throwing projectiles at you. So the goal of this game is basically a matching game plus a bullet hell on top of it. And here is an example of our gameplay here. So with this over here, we can switch to our different things. And we want to match the complete jokes to what is currently on there. And now they are throwing stuff at me over here. Usually better than this. And we got a gun over here as well. And the best way to get rid of them is to make the crowd laugh as fast as possible so that they and if you lose, you get pulled away into a game over. And just to do this real quick over here, we're going to show what happens if we win. So we have different difficulties here. This is the easiest one, which only lasts about 30 seconds, just to get the player much more comfortable to hit the higher difficulties. And once you win, you get to meet up with your manager, Steamboat Willie here, who will then tell you how good you did over here. We got a different rating system, depends on how good you did with the levels. And that is our game over there. Now, as for our roadmap of what we want to do going forward here, is short off. Going back to what we showed off there. So, you know, you're Cluck Jones, and you're basically an up-and-coming comedian trying to perform for a very tough crowd. And currently, our distribution is on itch.io, and we want to make it, once we complete the game, we want to make it free. You know, so we're going to host on itch.io and Steam there, and probably port it to the optimized support for the PC and for mobile as well. And this is our team and all the people that have worked with us here. So for our roadmap, it's a pretty simple roadmap of what we're going to do. First, we want to complete all the levels that we're going to have, and then add in some additional narrative to it, and then add in some additional content, which I'll show you after this slide over here. And after that, we begin advertising for the game, put into the different release version, alpha and beta. Then we put in our final touches, and we release the game. So for what we're going to do, there's a rough outline of how we want to improve on the game. So what we want to do is we want to have an improvement on the level selection screen, add more projectiles, add different crowd types, different environments, and refining the animation so that so that's a lot more smoother. So here's an example of our level selection screen. We're going to have Cluck Jones over here just wandering around the different cities, and as he gathers into different comedy spaces for him to perform. So we got, this is what we have for the 3 different levels. We saw the first one there, which was Howler's Club, which has wolves as an enemy, and which was sheeps, who turns into wolf if you don't appease them. And then the second level is going to be a swamp, which is going to be filled with alligators. And then we're going to, the other was going to be on a beach, where it's going to be a bunch of sharks there. And now for our different projectiles. We have it all modeled out So we actually had like level 2 and a versus mode, but it wasn't completely refined out yet. So we kind of put it on the back burner for now, but these are the additional things that the different hecklers can throw at you. So we have like a boot over here where if it hits you, it knocks you back, and it may hit you with it may hit you into other different projectiles. We have a boomerang where once it's thrown at you, you need to watch your back because it comes back towards the heckler. We have a brick where if it hits you, it stuns you for a really long time, and that combos really well with a gun, where if you're in there for like complete seconds, you'll die over there. And then we have money. So if you really work up the crowd a lot and they really like it, they'll start throwing money at you. And here's an example of the modes we didn't completely polished out yet. We have level 2 over there where the enemies are on the sides. So where the enemies or where the crowd is placed at really affects the projectiles being thrown at you. So the first level, we have the crowd in a very straight line. So stuff will be thrown straight at you. So it's much more easier to dodge left and right there. But if the seating over here is split to the side, they are thrown at an angle instead. It'll making it much more harder to dodge. And then over here we have a co-op mode where we would have two players over here, and then you would both be fighting with the crowd over here to see who can get the crowd laughing the most. So you want to match your jokes with the crowd faster than your opponent over there, and then whoever depletes the bar first, would win. And here are the different crowd types that we have over here that we haven't implemented yet. So we have the alligator here, who started off as a log in the swamp, just floating around. And then we have the beach shark over there, vibing out. And now for the addition of the narratives. We're going to have a Steamboat Willie over here, There's going to be a cutscene for each and every level, where Cluck Jones would just go around talking with the manager over here, where Steamboat Willie really just wants to wring all the money out of you as much as he can before you die. But, if you're able to live a lot longer, you'll able to make a lot of money from it. And as for our advertising, we currently have a YouTube channel right now with our trailer, but we're going to start distributing out to other different social medias like Instagram and TikTok. And once we get a very good grasp on additional content for our game, we're going to start pushing much heavy on advertising. And that is our game there. Any questions?
Yes.
Can you repeat the questions?
Yeah.
Do you plan to use some of the Steamboat Willie jokes and stuff going around to promote your game?
The question was, will we use the Steamboat Willie jokes and implement them into our own game?
Yeah, what we want to do is, I feel like we have a very good theme, like a 1930s theme of what we want to do, and trying to incorporate all that history into our game would make the game a lot more focused, a lot more refined compared to all the other games around us.
Yes, you in the back.
Are there any other public domain, well-known figures you plan to incorporate?
The question was, do we plan to incorporate any other popular public domain characters?
We haven't thought about that right now. The only thing that we thought of was Steamboat Willie. Yes.
Was it specifically Steamboat Willie that inspired the aesthetic and the art style, or was there another inspiration for that direction?
The question was Steamboat Willie our main inspiration for the art style?
Well, our main inspiration for our art style was actually Cuphead. We really just want to captivate a game similar as to what we developed. Some additional stuff that we could also add was having an improved sound effects to match the 1930 aesthetics, and just like a announcement, just like you would the announcer or narrator you would hear in Cuphead, just saying ready, set, go, something like that.
So how'd you come up with the name Cluck Jones? Is there a story behind that?
The question was, how do we come up with the wondrous name of Cluck Jones?
I actually do not know that.
Honestly, we were all just kind of ideating, and we just kind of our 2D artist Tanaya was the one in charge of Clark Jones, and she just sort of came up with that name out of nowhere, and everybody seemed to enjoy it, so we kept it.
There's a 2D artist like Chuck Jones.
Mm.
All right, any other questions? All right, Comedy Coop.